for the first question from Jonathan Herrera. He asked, how did you come up with the awesome name for your son? I wouldn't have thought of that name in a million years. Go. Hashtag Ask Cenk, hashtag pun.
Okay. All right. My son's name is Prometheus Maximus. Prometheus is my favorite mythical character of all time because he had the nerve, the courage to challenge the gods and say, I'm going to help humanity. It's the kind of thing that the rest of mythology is set up to hate. No, bow your head. Islam means literally submission in Arabic, okay? And in all the religions, Christianity, etc., they tell you, bow your head to God, listen to whatever he says, do not challenge him, even if he, for example, slaughters almost everybody on earth, as he did, you know, during that little fun thing called the flood, right? With Noah's Ark, literally almost everyone but Noah's family was killed. Support, bow your head and support. No, Prometheus said, I'm not going to bow my head. I'm going to take fire and I'm going to give it to humans. Love him. Maximus is, there's a lot of Maximus throughout history, but the one I named him for is the teacher of Marcus Aurelius, who is considered one of the greatest teachers in human history, a teacher of teachers. So that's how I picked the name. I love it, and I hope he's okay with it when he grows up. All right, next.
Okay, Lemel Zion asks, do you believe in ghosts or paranormal activity?
No, because I'm a rational human being. But not quite as rational as I make out, okay? I will confess to two things. One is, I know it's not right, but from time to time, I think, like, I'll look at signs or something and be like, oh, is that a message? I'm like, knucklehead, of course it's not a message, right? But look, it's that superstitions in a lot of us, so it's perfectly normal, right? The second thing is one that I'm perfectly proud of. I keep an open mind, meaning that I haven't foreclosed on the idea that there might be things that happen in this planet and this universe that we haven't yet figured out. So I think some people go to an extreme and say, science has got everything figured out, and whatever science says right now is the only thing that exists. But we're infants. We just got started on this planet. I mean, civilization's been around. What, the cave art is 30,000 years old. That's it. I mean, we are tiny little infants. So have we figured out everything in the world and what exactly existence is? Of course not. So could there be things that are outside of our normal expectations? Obviously there could be. I would seriously doubt that it's Casper the Friendly Ghost, but it could be other things.
Maxim Hoida asks, did you ever suffer any kind of discrimination against you because you were an immigrant? And if you did, what was your response?
Ass kicking was my response. But I was a kid, and it's not the right response. But, you know, we were in elementary school. When I came here, I was in 3rd grade. So they do the, oh, you're from Turkey, gobble, gobble. Are you going to eat your family at Thanksgiving? Right. They didn't mean any harm. They were 3rd graders, so that's why I kicked their ass. And so, yeah, I got into a lot of fights when I was a kid, and then people knew, don't make the turkey jokes around Cenk. That doesn't wind up well around for you, right? But it's not the right approach. Anyway, but honestly, it didn't bother me that much. I just like to fight. It's not turkey jokes. Who cares, right? No, it wasn't real discrimination. I mean, believe me, in my travels through the country and all the things that we've covered on this show, there is real discrimination. And honestly, thankfully, I didn't really face too much of it. Next.
Okay, so Scotch Laddie asks, 18th September, Scotland votes to be independent. Should Scotland become independent?
Well, funny that you should ask that when Francis is from Scotland. So I turn back to Francis. Should Scotland vote for independence?
Okay, so this is a debate that I've been asked about many times since I've came to the United States. Simply put, no, because the leader is a man named Alex Salmond, and he's basing his policy around ifs, buts, and maybes. In a recent debate he had with a politician named Alistair Darling, he was asked straight up what the currency would be, and he says, and I quote, that there will be a British pound will stay in Scotland. But that is not guaranteed, and when asked to provide a plan B, he simply had no answer and would refrain to making like stupid comments and gestures to mask how incompetent he is at answering these questions. And it's been going around Scotland, a lot of people are saying you're not voting for Alex Salmond, you're voting for a Scottish National Party. But that is a naive point of view, and people are assuming that they'll vote for Scotland independence and it means that the political power will be given to the Scottish people. But you know politics, that's not how it goes. We know politics now. A good video Russell Brand actually released on Scottish independence says that if that was the way the world works, then it would be a much better place. If you were to vote for an independent country and your nation was to be given the power, then it'd be great. But politics is run by money. And Alex Salmond has had this goal in his life to be the leader of his own country, and I'm afraid that's just not the way it's going to be if voted.
Yeah. Well, that's one way of going. The other way of going is, freedom! I don't know what this guy's talking about.
The funny thing is that's what he's basing his argument around. He is basing it on the fact that there's these nationalists who hate England and will vote basically because they'll put on their like Scottish tartan wigs and their kilts and they'll go out, I fucking hate England, I'm going to go and vote for independence. That will get votes, and that's what scares me. So,
all right. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Freedom. I'm kidding, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, next.
All right. Daniel Manahan asks, would you vote for Republican candidate if next press debate he pushes for consistent amendment to get money out of politics, but Democratic candidate does not?
Right. I'd have to seriously consider it, and I know it's an annoying answer, but it depends. It depends if he says like, "Hey, I'm definitely going to go nuke Iran next, right? And I'm going to put 18 conservatives on the Supreme Court." Okay, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I don't know, right? But yeah, I would definitely consider it, even if I disagreed with him on everything else. But I was positive that he was going to push for and had a much better chance of getting a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics. What's there not to consider? But what change would Hillary Clinton give me, right? Well, an establishment Democrat, they're not going to do anything. So what I fight against is the status quo. So if someone is genuinely against that status quo and really wants to get money out of politics, I'm definitely listening. Next.
All right, J1 asks, would you have your own book club show on TYT Network called Cenk's Book Club?
It would be a very boring book club because I read about 2 books a year.
The Twilight book?
Yeah, I think the book club would be something like this. Okay. No, it's really embarrassing to admit, but it's because I read like 100 pages a day in articles. So like, it's hard to say, okay, now let me relax and read more. Right? But the idea of a book club is awesome, and we'll almost certainly do one at TYT at some point. So look forward to that later. Okay, next.
All right, last question. Corey Cook, serious question. Would you hire George R.R. Martin as your wedding planner if by any chance you ever got married again?
Both parts of that question sound like a disaster. No, of course I wouldn't hire him. Are you crazy? I mean, I don't know if I'd even invite him. Look, George R.R. Martin's great. I'd love to meet him. Just not at my wedding. All right. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Francis. Everybody check him out at TYT Sports. It's been a Twitter store.